song, rocking and rolling all week long.
We are Soulful Synergy. My name is Shaughnessy.
My name is Shanice. This is episode number 5 of Soulful Synergy podcast.
The pursuit of happiness. You basically wanted to ask you questions to bring you back to a certain time where you felt some type of happiness. Whether that being a time from your childhood or just simple things in life that make you happy.
All right, so let's get started.
Hey everyone, so my name is Kareem. I'm here today on the podcast. I just want to introduce myself. Happiness can be split into 3 different categories, I guess you can say. And those categories will kind of differ for everybody. If people had more information on these categories and how they can develop them, they could live a healthier and happier life. So the first thing that is on my list is, your perspective on life. I think having a strong perspective can definitely be very helpful for a lot of people. And, that's something that makes me happy, like, for example, if I had a bad day and something pissed me off or made me upset or sad or whatever, I just think about, other people in the world. There's other people in the world who are experiencing drought and, starvation, and we don't have it nearly as bad as them. And, we're just thinking about first world problems. And, it really kind of makes you think like, okay, like if they can control their, emotions within that environment, why can't I control mine in one that is much better than theirs? You know what I mean? Not to be like arrogant or whatever, but it's a common thing. Like, don't take what you have for granted and just be happy with what you have. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. And perspective can change everything from how you treat your family to how you treat your friends, even the people that you love or a lover that you may have in your life. The second thing that is probably one of the more important things is self-confidence and, one's ability to explore and experience challenges and to learn from those challenges if they fail in those and not take it to heart or take it personally. Basically, just don't let it, bring your morale down, because everyone fails at something, and the only way you can learn from that mistake is by failing. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? If a person is self-confident in themselves and they're independent and they're able to sustain themselves, keep themselves healthy, I think that's another thing that, definitely affects your happiness and your self-image. And I think those are 2 things that are that go hand in hand. Take care of yourself, you'll feel better. It's just, common association. So yeah, always be confident in yourself. That will definitely increase your happiness. And, everyone kind of gives like this term happiness, like oh, let's be smiley or whatever, but really what happiness really comes down to is how good you feel about yourself and how good you feel about yourself within an environment and within a social construct. And you just gotta be able to show people your strengths and be happy with who you are. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is probably the most important point, because this is something that I've strived for in my life, and it's something that's made me undoubtedly happy and strong in my like the way that I want to do things. So for me, I'm a person who wants to own a business, and then my end goal is to own a business where I can deal with people who have fitness or mental health issues. I won't fully go into it, but I've seen a lot of challenges come with that, a lot of obstacles. So the main thing, and this is a very cliche thing to say, but your ability to see the glass half full rather than half empty, and to be patient with your growth is one of the most important things. Like, for example, a lot of people, they go to the gym and they work out, and they are very like, oh, like, why can't I grow? Why can't I do this in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever. I can say for a fact that, I've been working out consistently 6 days a week for 2 years. And again, this is not to be arrogant, but it just goes to show, like, be patient with anything that you may do. Like, for me, it's my body, the way that I build my knowledge on things that I want to learn about, like for mental health and physical health and anatomy and biochemistry and just a bunch of random shit, right? So that's one thing people really need to focus on, man. And that's what a lot of people struggle with these days. Like, even there's a guy who does speeches. His name's Simon Sinek, and he always talks about people see their goal and they're at the bottom of the mountain and they want to get to that goal, but they never actually climb the mountain to get to that goal. They don't have the patience and they don't have the confidence and perseverance to get through the challenges that they may have to get to that goal. And if that's something that makes you happy, then you got to strive for it. You know what I mean? You can't make excuses. You can't put yourself down, because in the end, how is that going to help you at all with what you want to do? Anyway, so I'm going into a completely different topic, but that's basically how I think about happiness. To keep it flowing and stuff, you gotta challenge yourself every day, man. You can't just be sitting on the couch and thinking, oh, like, how could I do this? Like, should I take some type of drug, whatever? Nah, like, get off your ass, get off the couch, go on the computer, look up degrees that you needed to take to get to your goal, make yourself healthier, start going to the gym, go play sports, do something fun that you may enjoy, like swimming, volleyball, whatever. But, if these things are helping, then don't stop, you know what I mean? And don't quit, because what's the point? You're gonna just like live life and do nothing? Shitty. My favorite childhood memory. Well, I love memories that have allowed me to learn more about myself and kind of build a base knowledge of who I want to be as I get older. And I think one of my favorite memories, so to be honest, elementary school, people are not as mature or whatever, you may get bullied. At that time, I used to get bullied every now and then. And one time I stood up to the bully and we got into a fight, but essentially like I won and everyone kind of blamed him because they knew that he was kind of the school bully. I took the risk to kind of build that self-respect in myself and to stand up for myself. And I think that's one of my favorite memories because it taught me from a very young age that, don't let people take advantage of you. And also it taught me to kind of be, have self-respect for myself, have dignity, have pride, and, not to lower myself to other people's standards when, they might be treating you badly or they don't, have respect for other people. And I realized that memory also, took me a long way into networking with other people because now, I understood this concept of, what respect is and how to be kind to others and, how to give others equal and fair treatment, I guess. And, people reciprocate that. And it just was something that it happened a long time ago, but it's something that's always stuck with me and it's always reminded me to be proud of who I am. So yeah, that's my favorite childhood memory.
So my definition of happiness would come from being loved and supported by those who are around you, being able to explore the world and explore your talents and your gifts, being able to create and, connecting with people on a soulful and spiritual level.
For me personally, what makes me happy is seeing my friends and family benefit and progress and overcome obstacles, and that uplifts me.
What hobby now makes you happy?
So it varies, but I think the thing that goes above everything else is DJing. So when I'm DJing in front of a crowd that specifically knows what I'm gonna play, I can do whatever I want and they respond to it. I don't have to appeal to a crowd. I don't have to okay, these people want top 40 or these people want trap, dubstep, or techno. They came here because they know that I'm gonna play something that they can vibe to. And that really works for me.
50% of our happiness is genetically predetermined. So this gives us our set point for happiness. Another 10% is influenced by circumstance, such as wealth and other external factors. And the last 40% is influenced strictly by internal controllable factors. So in other words, it's possible for humans to work towards being happy without changing their circumstances. By improving the state of happiness, it is easier to impact our external circumstances because happier people are more likely to do well in life.
Serotonin is commonly found in Turkey. It helps to regulate learning, your mood, your sleep, your sexuality, and your appetite. 20 minutes of outside activity and good weather helps to boost positive mood. It broadens your thinking and improves your working memory.
Happiness is a choice. You have the choice to suffer or to get through it and be happy, find your happiness.
It's in your hands, not anybody else's.
Yep, you are in control.
Happiness is an attitude of mind. I was saying this today. I was like, sometimes, even when I'm not happy, I try and trick myself.
Yeah, you have to.
Just so I'm not depressed, like, or I'm not like in a mood, you know, because it just brings your whole day down.
Yeah, it does.
Completely. So you have to change your attitude, your frame of mind, and make it work for you.
You can't truly be happy if you have unresolved issues. I think it's really important to work through those things. Talk about it, get it out, process it. That's the only way you can be happy, because if you don't get over past traumas or past hurt, past heartbreak, you're always going to carry that with you, and that'll weigh on your happiness slowly over time. It's just like extra baggage you don't need.
Gratitude is the key to happiness. So gratitude is being appreciative for what you have, and so your family, your friends, your job, you know, your health, food in your belly. That's gratitude.
Happiness is in the present moment. Worrying about the past, worrying about the future, hey, don't forget to live in the moment. Be present. Be fully present. You know, don't be distracted with your phone all the time. Don't be worrying about people's business. Like, just be present in the moment you're in and enjoy everything. Even if it's a bad time or a traumatic time, be present and go through it, grow through it, and
take it for what it is, because you never know if you're gonna get that again, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta take
Each moment is a moment we'll never be able to relive and get back.
Understand the reasons why you're unhappy, and try your best to stay away from those reasons. Go a long way by avoiding what's not good for you. You have to, because if you're eliminating things that are not good for your well-being,
Or sabotaging things that are good for you because of unresolved issues.
then you're not going to be happy. You're going to be unhappy. And no one wants to be unhappy. Let's talk about overly happy people. Those
Like the people
overly
at
happy
Starbucks?
people. Oh my God. Hello. How was your day?
What's your name?
What would you like today?
All right, Jessica, your pumpkin spice latte will be ready on the left.
Why Jessica though?
I don't know.
Don't kill me. Yeah, those overly... Honestly, I love overly happy people. Like, it's annoying sometimes, but I love it because it
just forces you to, like, cheer the fuck up, you know?
Right?
Like, put a smile on. Let's talk about sex and happiness.
Sex is such a hard subject to be happy with all the time.
For example, like, when you're in a long-term relationship, the sex isn't always hot and heavy as much as I wish it was. People just go through things in life and they get distracted, so they just put sex on the back burner.
Sometimes you're just like so wrapped up in what you got going on, or time-wise, like you don't have time. You know, 3 times a day, or whatever the case may be.
Like, having sex often is really good for your health and for your happiness levels, because obviously sex is tied to desiring your partner and being attracted to your partner, and once like you feel so good, such a good feeling. Like,
I just want a nigga to be obsessed with me all the time, because I feel like I'd be obsessed with you all the time. It's just I probably hold back because of how you are. Like,
but it's so important to just communicate and let your partner know how you're feeling instead of holding it in, and then you start to feel resentment, and next thing you know you're cheating or saying, you know, before it gets there, just have that conversation, and then if they don't pay attention, then that's a different story.
that's when it gets pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't fucking love me anymore.
Yeah. So, Shaughnessy, what's your happiest childhood memory?
My happiest childhood memory. I was living with my grandma for a while with my mom, my brother. And, you know, you would come downstairs, your grandma's in the kitchen, she's cooking, you're smelling all these different good smells of food and different types of music, the old school records, you know. Just that kind of vibe. That's kind of what sits as being a happy moment as a child.
Honestly, one of my happiest moments, I opened up a Christmas present from my uncle, and it was a Backstreet Boys CD, and I lost my shit. Like, I screamed. Things like that would make me happy. Playing outside. Like, remember playing outside? I would be outside right from when I finished my homework until, like, it was my bedtime. Like,
Kids don't do that anymore. Like, I don't see no kids outside.
Like, now technology makes them happy, you know, because they connect through technology.
Yeah.
I remember also we used to dance, me and my neighbors. We would dance in like one of my neighbors' front yards, and we would learn all the choreography to like NSYNC routines, Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys. We would just have like a little concert for the neighborhood. Oshawa life, you know?
That's
Had
cute.
nothing better to do.
That's so cute.
That makes me happy. Going to concerts when I was little. The concert that sticks out to me was the Scream 3 tour concert with like B2K, Bow Wow,
That was a big
Mario.
concert.
My aunt, she took me. She was like how I looked like the definition of happiness. Like I was like about to cry. Actually, I think I did cry. I was like screaming, dancing on my seat. Like I was wilding out. Like I think I was like 12. It was so funny. Things like that make me happy, or made me happy as a kid.
Yeah.
Just the small things, you know.
Yeah, I remember being in a school. It was like a school talent show or whatever.
I used to do those too.
And I was so happy that my mom came and she sat in the audience and we were dancing to 3LW. It was just a good time. Like we put on a good show. I feel like I forgot my words or something.
Is that
but
on video? That's the real
I wish
question.
it was on video. I really wish.
Yo, I did a talent show too in grade 8. Guess what song I did the talent show to?
What?
Dip It Low.
Stop this.
And at 13, I was dipping it low on stage in front of the whole school. I remember I used to dance a lot. I was on dance teams. I danced like all the way from when I was like 9 up until I was like 16.
Mm-hmm. Going to school, being around your school friends, being around your cousins and your family.
Yeah,
and...
family dinners.
Oh,
Yo. My family dinners back in the day were so sick. Like, we were all just so young. We play and, like, fight and eat good
it
food.
used to be lit back in the days, and now everyone's just in their feelings or they're off busy doing their own things,
Yeah.
living their lives, and you don't really see them.
Honestly, I had some really good birthday parties as a child, too. My mom used to make me French toast every morning on the morning of my birthday. We had a lot of barbecues at the house because I have a summer birthday.
I remember when me and my brother were younger, we used to, like, watch WrestleMania. But, like, not even watch WrestleMania. Like, you know the video game. Like, we'd play the video game. And there would be days where, like, we'd take the head off the fan in one of our rooms. And we'd start, like, speaking into the fan. Saying, oh, it's Trish Stratus and John Cena.
Oh my god, you guys are so annoying.
We'd, like, reenact the whole thing. It's kind of cool.
Remember that documentary I was telling you about, the Happy documentary? The filmmaker, he goes to like dozens of countries all over the world to get people's different meanings of happiness. And there's so many cool stories. Like there's this one guy, when the filmmaker went there, they still wanted to like make him dinner and cook for him and make him feel welcome, and they didn't even have anything, and they were so content and so happy, you know. And the guy that they interviewed, he was just like so happy to just be able to like give his family food. Different places, different things mean more. Things we take for granted. What is one way self-love can lead to happiness?
One way self-love can lead to happiness would be doing things that you need to do in life to contribute to yourself. So if that's pampering yourself every weekend, taking yourself on dates, traveling by yourself, doing things that maybe if you don't have a friend or if you don't have anyone in the picture, like you still are able to go out and do it by yourself. So I think self-love would be just being independent, knowing that at the end of the day you're going to be fine as long as you're content with yourself.
One way self-love contributes to happiness is just by the investment into yourself that you make when you decide to love yourself. It makes it easier for you to share that and be that in life.
I also feel like self-love is like having good relationships in your life. So like having good people who you feel will guide you down a good path, are on a right path themselves, and you have the same goals and same wants in life. Because if you're around people that aren't doing the best of things or just aren't doing anything with themselves at all, then you have to kind of look at it like, where are you going to end up?
Healthy relationships, they really take a load off. Because I find majority of your stress can come from relationships, and it could bring so much unhappy feelings.
Because that's your home, like,
Yeah.
You want to know that that's good at all times. Happiness is motherfucking handmade.
Oh.
Is it?
What are some things that make you happy? Like hobbies, passions?
I'd say painting for me. Painting is a big one for me. I haven't painted in so long, and it's actually weighing on me a little bit. I feel almost like I'm like missing something, and it's just because I've been so busy and I need to get back into it. But painting is something that just makes me feel free to do whatever I want to do. No one can tell me what to do but me. And then I can share it with people, So painting, hair as well. Hair, I just like making someone feel good about themselves and seeing the alternative, the before and after, and them coming back and doing the same thing again. So those are things that make me happy.
So overall, what is Shaughnessy's definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness would be just overall, it's hard to express happiness just because there's so many ways you can find happiness, and it's just your frame of mind at the end of the day. Like, you could look at a flower and just get happy. Being outside can make you feel happy.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
So happy.
By the water, I'm the happiest person.
Yeah. If I'm cheese, that's one place I go, like, straight. So, like, it's just your frame of mind and what you look at in life as beautiful, and finding beautiful things in life will make you happy. So, Shanice.
Yes.
What are some things that make you happy?
For me, one of the biggest things that has always made me happy is just like giving back to others, and I love being that type of person that brings a light into someone's life, having that effect on people makes me happy, being there for people. I have my coaching business where I help people build their self-confidence, rebuild their lives, after traumatic situations, or just when they're just not feeling themselves at all. And doing that for people, seeing them smash goals and feel themselves, that makes me so happy. I feel like it's a feeling everyone should feel. Also, music, like listening to a good song is like the best feeling ever. Like when you hear a great song for the first time. That feeling is a feeling that makes me so grateful for life. Just the small things, and my family and friends, they make me happy. I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by some good people, and I'm just so thankful. And small things like that, I'm a person that really believes happiness is really in the small things, when you just appreciate life and you're just grateful.
So what is your definition of happiness?
My definition of happiness is having freedom, freedom to feel, freedom to think, to speak, to act. Happiness to me is just being free in who you are and what you want, what you like, and going for it, having goals, reaching them. Moving forward in life is what defines happiness to me. Someone who keeps going, that's a happy person, because even though things get tough and things suck sometimes, you gotta just keep going and find something to be happy about, because there's so much we could be mad about, and things could be so much worse, but you still gotta find the good in everything. And I think that's what happiness is about.
They say this is hell on earth. So it's you really just have to make the best out of everything in life, or you will be unhappy Motherfucker.
On Happy as Fuck.
The key to being happy is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. And don't let anyone take your happiness from you. It's honestly the most sacred thing that you could keep to yourself. Happiness is when your man treats you like a queen.
Oh.
What does happiness mean to me? Happiness means to me feeling content. Feeling content with who you are as an individual in this planet. Feeling content with your workplace. Feeling content with your friends. Feeling content with your body. Feeling content with yourself. Being aware of your self-growth and feeling content that you are growing and becoming the woman that God wants you to become in this world. Once you're content with yourself, you're content with anything that can come to you. You're happy with yourself. And once you're happy with yourself, no negativity can destroy you because you're content and you're a happy individual.
Happiness is something we feel. Happiness is finding joy in the moment, which can also be described as intense joy coming from the feeling of satisfaction in certain areas of your life on a day-to-day basis. It can also be from a feeling of accomplishment in fixing areas in your life which you kept putting on the back burner. It's making changes in your life that will allow you to feel better about yourself, which can be as simple as keeping the space around you clean and clear of clutter, allowing you to thrive, and a sense of well-being. Happiness is joy, and peace comes from having both. If you attempt to do something that already doesn't feel good, you will not be happy with the results, thereby not having the feeling of joy. Happiness was when I was able to lift others up and help those who helped me to rise above the things that kept me stagnant and without hope. Happiness was when I could laugh for hours at the things we did, which would make others sit down and bawl like a baby. Happiness was knowing how blessed I was and the comfort of knowing I would never be alone.
How do I define happiness? So, happiness comes from within. The happiness you get from, say, buying clothes or buying shoes, for me, that happiness, that eventually fades. But in order to have happiness that lasts a lifetime, you have to get right with your inner self in order to be truly confident and happy with the person you are becoming. So, yeah, that's how I would define happiness. And my happiest moment as a child, funny enough, was by myself. Because as an only child, I learned to be comfortable in my own space, and I could be openly creative and form my own likes and interests, basically. And to be honest, these have become the building blocks that has made me into the independent, creative individual that I would say I am today. So, yeah.
Happiness is what you make it. There's no right or wrong answer. Just as long as it's good for your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, then just go for what makes you happy.
And I think we're all still searching for happiness at the end of the day. Like, it's not something that comes easy. And nowadays it seems like it's a lot harder to find because of what's going on in the world besides our problems, you know? Just thinking about what's going on right now, it makes me forget what's going on in my life and makes me think, like, I'm so thankful for what I have and the people that are in my life.
So that's episode number 5 of Soulful Synergy Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Shanice.
My name is Shaughnessy. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Ask FM at Soulful Synergy Podcast.
Our Twitter is at soulful_synergy, and we'll be posting episodes weekly on our website at www.soulfulsynergypodcast.com.
We are Soulful Synergy.
Who they tryna be? Look, I'm not just chillin' some babe. I'm not just shit with your boo. I'm might just spill on your babe. My pussy feel like a lake. He wanna swim with his face. I'm like, okay. I let him get what he want. He buy me East Saint Laurent in the new whip. When it go fast as a horse, I got the trunk in the front. I'm the hottest in the street.